the truth about it is, once you already have something going for you, like you already have an admission, you already started your training, it's easier to take those documents to those places and show them that, hey, this is what you already worked on. You're not just about to start. You're already in the process, but money is just a problem. On my last live that I did, this was maybe a month ago now, actually. Some of you left some feedbacks on the video asking, which I actually left a form for you to fill, to put in some of your requests for like what you want me to cover in the next live. And some of you, and majority of you actually, did leave a lot of good requests and good questions that I honestly, they're easier to talk about, right? I don't want to bore you with slides. I don't want to bore you with a lot of information that may not really be relevant to you, because everyone has got different situations. But I want to cover a ballpark of what I believe majority of you need. And that's what I want to share with you. Like I said, this would apply to people that are from Africa, maybe India, different parts of the world, because I know that some of you have found my channel and you've asked questions, you've reached out to me to ask questions, and I genuinely really want to help and give you the information that you want, that you need, that would help you to hopefully achieve your dreams and your goals. I share a lot of information about career programs, scholarship programs, and unfortunately, it can be a little difficult for me to find programs that applies to people from India, from Africa. And that's because it seemed like there isn't just enough companies out there that are willing to sponsor candidates. And that is the issue right now. That may change, but if you're from Africa, I know that South Africa has like a scholarship program from their aviation government body over there. And I know that, this is, if you're from South Africa, then maybe you might be able to apply for those type of programs. But I'm from Nigeria. I haven't found any scholarship programs from Nigeria. I haven't found any aviation cadet or sponsored programs from Nigeria. I know Ghana is another one that a lot of people are, that are, some of you are in and are asking questions and, how to get a scholarship. So I want you to know that I am always searching for this information. I'm always looking for this information, but when you don't have it, you just don't have it. And I want you to know that I do feel your struggle, because I was once a aspiring pilot in Nigeria, and I know exactly the hurdles that a lot of you are going through or will have to go through to become a pilot. So I do not take that lightly, and that's why I don't want you to think that I'm not addressing this subject of cadet programs for people from Africa and people from all over the world. The goal of my channel has always been to spread the information that will help another person achieve that goal. However, these airlines and sponsored programs out there do have requirements, and this requirement is what makes it hard for us to secure this opportunity, because they favor people from their country or from their region, and that is, I guess, normal. And this is where we as Africans, for example, we need to focus on developing our own aviation industry so that we can get to a stage where we can also sponsor people from Africa. And that's the problem, because right now there is no aviation organization out there that is doing this, or maybe an airline that is doing these cadet schemes or scholarship programs. So it can be a little bit difficult. The other thing I want to address is on this question. So if you do not have any cadet program that you are aspiring for or that you are looking to get into, because like I said, majority of them do require that you have the ability to work in the country that the airline operates in, then you're left with having to apply for a visa and getting that visa approved, and then and hopefully that visa lets you work and study in maybe EU, in Europe, in the European part of the world, which, to be honest, that's also hard, because we know that it's very hard to get such a visa unless you have a lot of money. And if you have a lot of money, you're probably going to go train anyway, instead of having to apply for a visa and then go through a cadet program that is not even assured, or there's no guarantees that you're going to get into it. So my advice for you is this. I always say that I urge that you seek around you, look for government entities around you, look for organizations that may just want to sponsor one or two people, right? Because there are some organizations out there that they will sponsor you, and then you are tied to them. You have to bond with them for years, as just a way to pay back the gesture, right? But the truth is, that is really what it comes down to. If you do not have the funds to train, if you do not have the ability to fund your training or get a loan, then the other option would then be to find an organization, maybe an airline, but I also know that those are rare. But do not be discouraged by this, because there are some people that have been able to still go through their training even without really knowing if they can afford it. And it may take a while, may be a very difficult process, but it has been done. And I know some people that have actually done this in the past. Let me share a story with you. A friend of mine, we both came to the United States in 2010, and we started the same training together. And he had to drop out. Okay. He had to go back to Nigeria to get funds because he couldn't afford to stay here anymore. He couldn't afford to pay for food. Like, that was how bad things got. And he eventually had to go back to Nigeria to raise funds. And one of the things he did was he had to go to some churches, and he somehow was able to scrape some money back together, and was able to come back to the US. But like I said, he went to churches, he went to a lot of government entities out there. And the truth about it is, once you already have something going for you, like you already have an admission, you already started your training, it's easier to take those documents to those places and show them that, hey, this is what you already worked on. You're not just about to start. You're already in the process, but money is just a problem. And if you can show them that information, or that, for example, some people finish their private. If you can show them the PPL license, that this is what you have, but you need money to go finish your instrument and commercial, then it makes it easier to convince people or convince these entities that you are working on your pilot rating. So that's where I urge you to not give up, because once you can at least get your foot in the door, it gives you more credibility, and it gives you the ability to show them that you are already working on something. So what he did was, he went back, was able to scrape some money together, and after about maybe a year, again, it took a while. After about a year, he was able to come back to the States and finish his training. And right now, he's flying for the airlines and all of those. I mean, like I said, there were so many struggles along the way. Just like I had my own struggles, we all have different struggles. But I don't want you to be sad about the situation. You just have to find creative ways to make your own way. Like I said, this would have been much better if it was live, so that I can actually get your feedback. But again, don't forget, if you have any questions or feedback, leave it in the comment section below. I would respond to them. And I hope that you found value in this one. I just wanted to share my thoughts with you without editing this out. I just wanted to be as honest and as straightforward about this with you. Best of luck, and let me know if you have any questions.